Hey everybody, it's Christine at Zeidman Development, and today I'm going to walk you through the data source criteria screen for the EveryAction data source. Using this, you can import your EveryAction data out of EveryAction and into the Razor's Edge. So let's go ahead and get started. So up at the top, we have our date from and our date to. Our date from always defaults to the last time you opened this data source. So if you open this and don't do an import, you may want to make sure you back that date up a little bit to capture any data that you haven't added. One other thing that you should be aware of with this integration is, as this little information button will tell you, you're only able to work with data from the last 90 days. So we can't backdate that data that's due to some restrictions in the API, but we can go back 90 days. So I'm going to go ahead and do that just so we've got a little bit of data to work with here. Once you have your date set, then you can choose what type of data you want to work with. So we can add our contacts and all of the different information we have on our contacts there, as well as if you want to add contact history, contact activist codes, if you've got survey responses that you want to bring through. You can also work with recurring contributions. So this actually brings through the promise of the recurring gift, not the payments. So if you want to work with payments, those are included with one-time payments in the contributions. So those are our different types of data we can work with. I'm going to go ahead and select contacts so you can see what that does. You can also opt to include those suppressed and inactive records. So if you check that, that will include them. If you leave it unchecked, that will not include them. Then the next thing to note is once you've selected your activity type, you have the option to add any non-core fields that you want to add. You can use your control key on your keyboard to select everything, move it all over at once, or you could move them over one by one. So let's go ahead and move those back. We could just go through and say we want country, do not email, so whatever is important there for you. And then last but not least, if you have custom contact fields, you can see a couple here from our database, you can move those over as well. So any fields that you need to be able to access as you build your template, you do need to make sure you move them to the right so they're available. If you need to, you can save your settings and reload them later. Depending on what you have, that's always a great option. Once you have everything here, you can go ahead and click Submit. That's going to download your data, and then you can work with your templates. So we will walk through each of those templates in separate videos, but as that's loading, just a friendly reminder, always recommend that you name your templates for what activity type they go with, because each activity type does have different field names, and those field names make a huge difference as you're building your templates. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that this has been helpful for you to see how you would work with your EveryAction data and what your different activity types are. I hope you have a great day, and you'll join me again for another video soon.